Hey, beautiful mama. Welcome to the Radiant Mom Rising podcast, where we believe you were never meant to just survive. You were born to shine. I'm your host, Mary Dibble, life coach, mom of three, and your biggest cheerleader in creating a life and business you love. Each week, we dive into real conversations about mindset, motherhood, healing, and purpose, helping you break free from overwhelm, rediscover your worth, and rise into the confident, radiant woman you were meant to be. Because when moms rise, the world rises with us. So grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get ready to rise together.
Today, I have the beautiful, the delightful, the daring and bold woman who cold DM'd me. Mary, this is forever going to be part of our story because we're rewriting what the cold DM means. You guys, I make it dramatic on purpose. Mary was unapologetic. She was convicted in her message, and she was proud to share that message without judgment or shame or concern of the reaction. And the cold DM got a really bad rep, and maybe it still does, but we don't want to judge a book by its cover and write everything off, because there was a frequency in her message to me. And whether it always happens this way, because you guys know I go around the internet picking people up to bring them to my vortex, to your vortex, and all around. And Mary, I'll let you talk soon, I promise. Just hang in there with me.
Love it. Keep going.
But there was a magnetic frequency there. And I just responded with something like friendly and fun. And sometimes I like to mess around with those and just be like, hey, are you a real person? Right. And with Mary, it led to instant conversation, instant genuine connection. And we hopped on a Zoom, and that was it. We're done. We're in for life now.
The rest is history. I love it.
The rest is history. This is the beginning of everything.
Oh, yes.
So who is this gorgeous woman, you guys? She's a proud wife, a mom of three, an award-winning life purpose and goal success master coach on a mission to help moms rise above limitations and design a life they love. Can you see why I'm obsessed with her and why I had to bring her in? We're so aligned, right? We're so aligned in our missions to activate women into purpose and passion, into putting themselves first. Now, Mary has a incredible story that she'll share with us. And what's cool about this episode is we're actually doing a podcast swap in one recording, which is brilliant. And that was Mary's idea. And it led into doing this for the Everyday Women Summit that's coming up in mid-November, you guys. So we'll drop the link in the show notes, yada, yada. But her sharing that idea with me was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have all the speakers interview each other. I don't have to record 18 hours of interviews. And because the theme is community, they're creating their own community within it. So it all synchronizes. So that's why God put Mary in my life, and many more reasons yet to unfold.
And that's what's so beautiful about this journey is what you just said. Like, you really don't know what one little connection is going to lead to. So I just want to say thank you, because I know that you're right. There's this like bad rep about cold DMing people, but it's like, how else do you really meet people or know who you can serve without
Mhm.
reaching out? And I think that a
Mhm.
lot of times I feel like we get triggered by that is because we don't always have the courage ourselves to do that. Like, it's taken me time to get the courage to
Yeah.
do that. So there were times where I felt triggered when people were reaching out. It's like, I know that I don't do that. So it's like I got offended or whatnot. And I realized I had to shift from that, because we're all in this together. We're all
Mhm.
working towards a common goal of, freedom in our lives, to spend time with our
Mhm.
families, to make a difference in this world, to make an impact. So who are we to not to shame other people
Yeah.
for doing
Yep.
doing exactly what we're doing and being an
Yep.
entrepreneur and going out there and being like,
Yep.
hey, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer. If it's something that can help you, let me know. If not, like you did, we connected anyways, because there's
Yeah.
always a great amount of ways to be connected with someone. It doesn't always have to be about being a client. It's just a friendship, it's a referral
Mhm.
opportunity, it's a
Mhm.
collaboration opportunity. It's
Mhm.
just having someone beautiful in your life to up level your game and help be there
Yeah.
for you. So again, I really am so grateful that you are that person who was open to receive that and just be like, hey, I don't really need that, but I'd love to connect anyways and just get to
Mhm.
know each other. And then, like you say, here we are. I'm so honored to be part of your upcoming summit. I love the women that I've been connected with. The one you connected me with, oh, she was
Yeah.
amazing. We had a powerful conversation
Yeah.
around community. So again, it's just an honor to be able to be doing this and just getting to know people. And I like I said, if anyone's listening, I do want to recommend that you check in with yourself and see how it feels when people do reach out to you as a cold
Mhm.
DM or make an offer to you, because that is a reflection in a, in a sense to yourself and how you're showing up in your own business and what you would expect as an outcome for it. And I apologize. I
No,
have
don't.
a
No, this is
sick son at home. So talk about mom life.
yes.
He's not been feeling good. He's had a horrible
Yeah.
cough. I had to go get him yesterday because he threw up at school. And
Yeah.
yes, oh, bless it. I'll be right there, baby. I know. I know. Mia, how about you
Yeah.
take the floor? And how about Mia, can you take the floor real quick and share a little bit about your story, your journey, and what's led you to do what you do right now?
I love to talk to other people. It's harder to talk about myself, but I'll do it. Mary's going to tend to her child, so let's give her space for that. This is it. It's so perfect and unfortunate that our sweet boy is dealing with this right now, but it's perfect in the sense that my story was a performance story. I was trying to prove my worth and my value and find it in external circumstances. And I grew up in a very stable household with very lovely parents and a great family environment. But somewhere along the way, I picked up this large insecurity and kind of scarcity wound. And so for years, I was just trying to prove myself through relationships, through work, through anything. But in that, I was also finding out more about who I am. There are parts of me that are very real that came out through that. Volunteering in the community, leading groups of volunteers, taking leadership roles in school and through the workplace. Like I'm always pioneering some sort of workplace initiative, some sort of, you know, fun activity that we can do together in the corporate world. And so these were showing me parts of myself while I was working through the proving energy. And what happened in the last couple of years is God shook that free, amen, which was so wonderful because this is the big vision and purpose of my passion, blah, 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 is for women to feel at peace and to feel whole and to feel like alive in their day to day. And if you don't know this already, hold on to your socks because this is pretty amazing. Okay. This girl right here, if you're watching the video, like look at my face. I'm wearing an old t-shirt from a job I had in my early 20s. I'm very real. I'm very ordinary. Okay. But that doesn't detract from my big, amazing, awesome life. It's not a bad thing to be ordinary because we're rewriting the definition of that word, much like I have a whole rant about rewriting survival mode into a thriving mode. But that's for a different time. So in this girl, that woman that you see, I'm working full time, I'm working part time, I'm running a coaching business, I'm running a summit mid-November. It's mid-October now. We're 4 weeks away. I have 18 women who have said yes to that. 18 women have bought into my vision. Okay. I have a podcast. I'm going to be launching another podcast. I'm coming out in 2 books in November after the summit near Black Friday. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm a stepmom, I'm a mom. My daughter stays up until 9:30 or 10 o'clock p.m. regularly, so there isn't like after hours. So my time is generally between 5:45 a.m. because, it's early, until about 7 or 7:15. I'm getting all these things done in the flow of my life. The whole point is, oh, and because of my podcast, I got invited to coach on a women's luxury trip to South Africa coming spring 2026. It's huge. It's huge. The workbook that I'm creating for that is huge. It's stretching me, it's evolving me. And I can picture myself sitting in the plains of South Africa with these women going through these exercises. Like my soul recognizes all of this stuff. but I'm no longer living in scarcity. I'm no longer living in chasing. I'm no longer living in proving energy. I'm just showing up every day, getting a few things done. And if you are watching the video, I just really want to get real. This is my habit tracker, and it's something I've been keeping for a year and a half. This will be the end of year 2 at the end of this calendar year. So if there's a check mark, that means I did the thing. If there's not a check mark, it means I didn't do the thing. If there's a circle, it means I wanted to do the thing that day and I didn't.
I
There's
love
not a
that.
lot of check marks on there, but it's still happening.
Yeah.
It's still happening. Okay. So I don't want you guys to live in a pressurized environment. There's enough demands on women, the matriarchs, the holders, the invisible glue behind the scenes. You can have all the things I described just by doing a half bum job every
Yes.
day.
Yes.
Last month I hit about 66% completion of 100 on my habits,
Yeah.
but I'm not pressuring. I'm just showing up and like do, 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 going along. And that's what I want to activate others to do and create that safety, that nervous system calm, because I chased and I worked and I grinded and I hustled and I got burnt out and yada, 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 boring, overdone story. I didn't expand my soul doing that. And I was chasing somebody else's dream. So we can build our dream life in pointing at the habits in the clunky, messy imperfection of the day to day.
Ah, that's amazing. And I want to thank everyone who is listening for excusing me for a moment to attend. And thankfully, this is another reason it's great to delegate. I have an amazing husband who's able to be here. And I think it's important that the kids understand that daddy can take care of them
Yes,
too. Although, because
yes,
kids always want their mommies, but I am
yes.
so grateful for him to be here to support me so that I get to be here for you guys because this matters. It's all of this. And I love your journey, Mia, because this is what it's all about. I mean, it is just taking one step in front of the other. Like,
Yes.
none of us, nobody, not even the most successful people like Tony Robbins and all these people that you see, Kathy Heller, none of them had a clue what they were doing when they first got started. We all start somewhere. And I think the important message with everything that we're sharing here is the realness of it all. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect before you
Mhm,
get started. Your life doesn't
mhm.
have to look a certain way. You don't have to look a certain way. The technology around it doesn't have to look a certain
Yes,
way just to get started.
yes,
It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to look a little like, chaotic at times, but at the end of the day, that should actually make you feel better because there's so many people doing it like that and that's what leads to their success.
that's right.
It's not like an overnight thing. This whole journey is not an overnight win.
That's right.
What's a win though is people like you who are not afraid to be real and who's willing to just keep going and figuring it out along the way. And that's my journey. I started my business when I had, a toddler and then a newborn at home.
Mhm.
And a lot of people would have probably, well, a lot of people did think I was crazy to get started
Yeah.
at
Don't you
that
have
point in
enough
my
going
life.
on?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it wasn't easy. Nothing about this is easy.
Mhm,
But at the same time, I wouldn't be where I am today and how much further I've grown, like you say, and evolved without just taking
mhm,
that messy action
mhm.
and figuring it out. Like I said, when I first started, I didn't know what SEO meant. I didn't know how to do anything with the
Sure.
website. Now I understand what funnels are, email lists. I understand
Mhm,
how to do SEO optimization. I'm learning so many things. Doing the podcast, editing, all that. I
mhm.
never in a million years thought I would have seen myself doing these things, but here I am. And so that's what I want to encourage. I saw a video earlier of this woman that she shared of a little child. He was just throwing a basketball like as a toddler,
Mhm,
and it was
mhm.
sloppy. He was making a lot of misses,
Yeah,
whatever, but he was just, you
yeah,
could tell he was just having fun. And then it's
yeah.
like showed him at like 5 years old and how
Mhm.
he was all of a sudden making shots. And
Yeah,
then it showed him
right.
at like 6 years old, actually like
Mhm,
playing basketball, like on
mhm,
an elementary team, but he was actually getting shots in. And then it showed him
mhm,
at 7 years old, and he was like doing all these cool tricks and moves at 7 years old. And it's like
mhm.
the point of the message is it's like nobody starts off good. It takes
Yes.
that consistent and that persistency to just keep going and keep learning and keep practicing and until it gets to the point where it gets easier and easier and easier. And then bam, it's like nothing, right?
Well, it becomes part of who you are. And this is
Exactly.
what we want to do is become who we are
Yeah.
among the day to day and be certain-ish that we're not chasing after something
Yeah.
because don't worry about tomorrow. Today has enough worries of its own, right? And
Love
I
that.
love to say we're living for the present day with a vision cast to the future. And so if you don't have a sense of purpose and it was kind of divine opportunity, again, unfortunate that your son's not feeling well, but it allowed me to open and let out a lot of my passion and it's clear to me. And I don't know how it's all going to look in a couple of years, but I can kind of feel it. It's almost like blurry vision, right?
Yeah.
But it's coming more clear and my intuition is getting sharper and my certainty is getting sharper. Like, to be quite frank, to be quite frankle,
I love it.
I'm in the mood.
Uh,
The summit is very triggering because I'm like responsible for 18 different women. And I had a speaker opt out, and then I replaced the partner. And I was like, oh, I still wish it was the original pairing. But I have to like breathe through that. I have to relax through that. I have to trust, even if it's not great. I have to just trust and let it go through. And like we have a little Facebook chat, and I'm like, oh, do I need? No, I don't need to perform. I don't need to entertain and like juggle balls. And, I am the life of the party. These women have bought in because they mostly know me personally, have been in my environment for a while. But it's like, even though I'm doing these things, they're confronting. And I have to just walk through that. I just have to willingly walk through that and flip flop around and let it be what it is. And, that's a big part of why the everyday woman is that with Mary's son having to come on camera, when I was an online business manager, I always had to be perfect. I had to have it all figured out. Everything needed to fit. It needed to be a well-oiled machine. And I'd be so sweaty. I'd be so anxious. I'd be so worried. And that wasn't why I got hired. It wasn't for being perfect, it was for being organized and smart, right? But I was confused about my identity. So all of this comes because I really just want to lay something down for you guys that is very ordinary, no matter who you are. So, two things. One of my coaches is a 10 million, multiple time self made, although now completely God made because she's fully in a better spiritual place. No judgment, just in her journey. He provides. And she was subject to the tornadoes and storms in Australia, right? And so her home got ravished. And for, I think it was like 6 weeks or something, they were living without internet. They were living without like basic provisions of her mansion house on the Gold Coast.
Wow.
And she had gazillions of dollars, but life happened to her anyway. And then I was listening and highly recommend at least the first hour and a half of Jay Shetty interviewing Madonna on spirituality. And it pushed on me. And I want to talk more about that in the spaces when and if time permits. But Madonna, okay, said that she's had a leaky roof for a month. Like, she's Madonna. Why does she have a leaky roof for a month?
They're just
You can't
people.
escape these things no matter
Yeah.
who you are. All
Yeah.
right. So that's why embrace here and now and make space. Like, I don't want Mary to be stressed as a guest that she's got to tend to her son. I embrace that. I want those experiences. We need to normalize
Yeah.
that because, like Mary was saying to me before we hit record, and I want you to take it away again, the life that you've created as a result of being bold and willing to fail has resulted in the flexibility that you now have for your family.
Yeah. Yeah. So to point on that, yeah, I was yesterday. I was in a call. It was an awesome call. I was just listening to a guest speaker. And then I get this call from this my kid's school that, oh, Kay just threw up. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta, and I hopped out. I said, hey, sorry, ladies. I'll catch the replay. But, I left and, to hurry to go get him. And on the drive there, it just really dawned on me like how freeing it is in my life today where I don't have to worry about going to my boss and be like, "Oh, I gotta go. My kid's sick," or and worrying about how that's going to affect my coworkers or if I'm going to get in trouble with work because
Yeah,
some people get penalized for things like that.
yeah,
And it was just so wonderful in a moment of realizing that I am living in a life right now where I have the freedom to go take care of my kid in
yeah,
the middle of the day, come what may, and there's no worries of how it affects my work life. And I think that's again, what so many of us are on this journey doing because we deserve it. We should be
hmm
allowed to be a
hmm
parent to our kids and to have that
hmm
flexibility. And you're right.
yeah,
There's that sense that, when you're in this world, sometimes you have that almost employee mindset of like
yeah,
everything's got to look great, everything's got to be
yeah,
professional. But it's like, come on, we're real. And isn't that nice that we get to be real and just,
yeah.
acknowledge that
Yes.
sometimes things are a crapshoot. Sometimes things are
Sometimes.
sometimes things are hard. Speaking of, you're saying I lost my house to a fire like 8 years
Yeah.
ago, and it's like that could have turned my world around in such a negative manner. But what I
Mhm.
was able to realize was seeing the community, seeing the people who came together,
Right.
who supported me,
Yeah.
who helped us get through it. And then realizing as I allowed it to unfold, seeing the blessings that came out of that as I ended up getting married to the man that I'm
Mhm.
with today. I got, ended up
Mhm.
going to Ireland for my honeymoon. I never would have
Mhm.
imagined being able to do something like that and
Mhm.
just building this family and then having this home
Mhm.
that's first of all much more valuable than it was in the beginning that I never expect to happen. But it's
Right.
like you don't even realize like the beautifulness that comes out
Yeah.
of even the ugliness. And I like to
Yes.
change my
Say that
perspective.
again. Say that. The
The beautifulness
beautifulness
that
that
comes.
comes out of the ugliness.
Yes.
Yes.
There are always
Yes.
blessings in disguises in
Yeah.
every situation. And I feel like if we can teach ourselves and work on it because we're human,
Mhm.
it's not easy in those moments that you're living in it to always have this perspective. But this is what's cool about surrounding yourself with listening to conversations like this and being
Mhm.
around like-minded people
Yeah.
is getting that reminder of being like, this is happening for me, not to me. And what is it that I could maybe learn from this situation? What can I envision of a blessing to come out of this? How can I make the best of the situation? I think those are the kind of things that if we could work to seek instead of being like, woe is me, or why is this
Mhm.
happening to me? Why
Mhm.
me? It,
Mhm.
I mean, it's just going to help the situation so much better. Like one of the things I tell my kids that I'll never forget when I did go to church, Bishop saying was that how you respond to a situation determines the longevity of your suffering. So it's
Mhm.
like it just really hit me because it was like, oh my
Wow.
goodness, do we create so much suffering that
Yeah.
doesn't even exist? Think about if you're driving, like for those of you who are working and going to a job. I remember when I did this all the time. I had this woman who was a bully to me, and the
Okay.
whole time on that drive, I would sit there in my head
Mhm.
and be so worried and consumed by how she may
Mhm.
or may not treat me. Is she going to be in a good mood? Is she blah blah? I would create so much invisible suffering in that moment
Yes.
because I would feel all the feelings. And it's like, I had no idea if the day was even going to unfold like that. I
Yeah.
could have gone to work and she'd be in a good mood and everything was great. And so,
Or
why
she'd
did
be
I?
sick
Yeah, or she'd
or
not even be
right
there. Exactly. It's like, so
away.
why
Yeah.
would I put myself through that? That imaginary suffering
Yeah.
just to, and this is something we do, right? I mean, if you think about yourself, how much do you put in your head and you assume what's going to happen or how someone may treat you, and it holds you back from even reaching out. I know with me, that was what kept me from doing even cold DMs in the beginning, was those people who got angry and upset. And it's like, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I'm looking to connect and to let people know this is who I am. This is what I do. And come be part of my world if you want to be part of that, that it's available for you. It doesn't mean you have to take it. You have every right to say no. That's actually a beautiful gift and a power in
Mhm.
itself.
Mhm. This is, I really hope you guys are hearing what I'm hearing and what Mary's saying. You're hearing what I'm hearing. And what she's saying, oh my gosh, beautifulness in the ugliness, invisible suffering, and finding a way to navigate all of that peacefully and staying open to possibility. And this is like the cord to unwind, the thread on the sweater to pull and unravel is slowing down to look around and see what is going, right? Like I mentioned, I haven't even mentioned all the things going on in my life because obviously that would take forever. But there are some other very big, ugly pieces that are bringing out some new beauty. And this is what kind of keeps me going is like, and I'm the puppy. Like I'm already made and kind of predispositioned this way, which side note makes me a really good coach to work with because I can always bring new life to a situation. But there's something important that I want to lay down that life can be ugly and it can be hard, and we do react in a victim mode. It's natural, it's physiological, it's lizard brain, yada, yada. And so, how do we navigate through that? And how do we get held and supported to feel, but not stay stuck?
Yeah.
Right. And so, one of my commercial slogans that came out recently, and I'll keep it PG, is that you can handle the poop without getting lost in the poop, right? So it's like we maybe not all,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't like to stereotype, but if you've cleaned a diaper whoosh, and you move on, and when you're a mom with a baby, like you're not even noticing if there's poo in your hair.
Yeah.
But we want to kind of be able to honor the lousy things that happen and process them. And then I like to say absorb and dissolve, right? And we come like fertilizer. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go there. In the safari workbook I'm making, one of the symbolic animals I'm using for spirituality is the dung beetle.
Ah, my son would
And
love that.
like the channeling that's happening around the dung beetle is amazing because the dung beetle needs poop and poop needs a job, otherwise it's just going to stack up. And so it becomes this whole ecosystem that serves in so many different ways. And this is where walking it out with faith, with a coach, with a community, with normalizing life. And I want to point out too, Mary, you shared that you still work, you still have a job as you're building coaching, as you're building yourself, but you can now work from home.
Yeah.
So don't be waiting for some dream to materialize. Live the dream today. And where you need to soften, there's people out here who want to help you with that journey, with navigate. That's what coaching is. Like at my job, it's great because I get to practice coaching on my friends there.
I love it.
It's so great. And yesterday, I was given a beautiful revelation that if I make my coaching about their result, I'm making it about me.
Yeah.
And so when we're navigating, and this is again coming back to what I want to draw out of what Mary was saying, because it's so beautiful, when we're navigating these things, how do we absorb and dissolve them and, not fall apart in it, not fall apart in it, because it's hard. A friend at work went through a fire and like she was a mess. It was very traumatic. It was awful. But now, like you described, she has this dream home and it's like incredible.
Yeah.
But even getting to that dream home was a stress. It was a lot of decisions. It was a lot of space. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of everything, right? So I want you to come back in, Mary, and talk more now. I like the comparative of what life was before to what it is now. And if you were this version of yourself back then, what do you think that reality would have been like?
Oh, I will say, gosh, that reality would have been so much nicer and smoother. I mean, I grew up, for those who don't, have not really followed my journey and who's listening to this for the first time. I grew up in a very negative minded environment, not in an ugly, abusive way. My mom's amazing. She was a single mom, but she always had a negative view about everything because that's kind of what she was taught. It's that generational pattern. And so
Mhm.
I didn't realize how much that followed me, even though I felt like I
Mhm.
thought I was fighting it. I was very insecure. And all of that led me down to make bad choices, including getting into drugs as a teenager.
Mhm.
So it's like I've had a pretty hard journey, and the fact that I'm here today, even as amazing as I've grown, and most people who meet me are like, I'd never think you'd ever done hardcore drugs like you have, and I'm like, yeah, we all have our things. In the past, you're right, it is so hard. I mean, it took over almost 2 years to get our house rebuilt, and
Mhm.
but it's also amazing how God works things out. So,
Mhm.
we actually had at the time, so we did lose three cats in the house fire. Bless their
Mhm.
hearts. It was probably one of the hardest things. Also losing my son's, all his childhood memories and everything I worked up to that. I mean, it was devastating to experience, to see unfold right in front of me. But what's crazy, let me tell you about this. Back then, so me and my husband had just moved into this house. So this is my first time. It was my house. I bought it at 29 years
Mhm.
old. Okay. And,
Wow.
growing up, I lived in income-based apartments my whole life. And I remember saying, when I get older, I'll be dang if I raise my kids in apartments. And I want to have the ability I want to have a house.
Mhm.
And there I was at 29 years old. Yeah, I reckon before that I lived in apartments with my
Mhm.
son. I was a single mom for a while there until I met
Mhm.
Alan. But there I was, 29 years old, didn't even realize it was possible. And here I got my
Mhm.
first house. And then 7 months later, it burns down. It was
Wow.
devastating. It was a hard experience. And what's crazy is that, okay, so my mom was actually living with us at the time, and she had just moved out a week before this happened and
Wow.
happened to decide to keep my son that weekend
Wow.
that it happened. That to me is so God. On
Mhm.
top of that, after this happened, we had to stay in a hotel. We had a Great Dane German Shepherd mixed dog, a puppy that we just gotten, and another dog. So it's like, here you are, we're having to have his brother keep the dog, and we're in this hotel, and we don't know how long this is going to be, and we're like trying to figure out our next steps. A woman who had a condo, who had been on the market for an entire year and was going
Wow.
nowhere, she had heard about our story. And apparently, when she was a teenager, she went through a house fire. So she
Mhm.
took pity on us and was like, you know what? As long as you guys need, you can stay at my condo. She let us have our dogs. She let us
Wow.
stay there. Thankfully, it was a blessing for her because the
Mhm.
insurance, paid her. So it helped her to get a
Right.
position to have the
Mhm.
funding to maybe remodel or fix it up, whatever. When our house was finally built and we moved in, a week later, she sold. She sold it.
Wow.
It had been already on the
Crazy.
market. So it's like, talk about how things
Yeah.
just work out. And that's one thing
Yeah.
I try to remind myself. But when it goes to your question about who I was back then, yes, I was a mess. I was somebody who I would want things to happen a certain way, have that control of like how I would
Mhm.
think it needs to work out. And if it didn't, like I would
Yeah.
freak out. I would
Yeah.
freak out. I would
Yeah.
ruin the experience of not just
Yeah.
for myself, but for those around me without even
Yeah.
realizing like how much I affected that and ruined situations that I could have made the best out of it.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to have been the version that I am today back then, but I also have
Mm.
no regrets because
Of
every
course.
bit of things that I've been through, all the hard stuff, all the abuse, the things that I've been through, because I was homeless at the age of 15 into 16 for a part of my life. And so it's like all
Mhm.
those things that happened to me while being out in that drug world, while dealing with the house fire, all those
Mhm.
things, every bit of it, not having a
Mhm.
dad really be there for me growing up, all of it has molded me into who I am
Yes,
today. I would
that's
not
right.
be the strong person that I am today. I would not even be willing to see the world like I do. I feel like I have this appreciation like it
Mhm.
and like beyond because I get to see what's unfolded. And I'm so grateful that God kept me here and he allowed me to have a purpose. And I want to say that to anyone listening, if you're still here, it's because
Mhm.
you have a purpose. So you're meant to serve, you're meant to make an impact in this world one way or another. So don't be afraid, mama. Don't be afraid. Go do it. Because it's scary. It's not easy, but is our lives really that easy anyways when we don't do anything? Why not?
It reminds me of that scene in The Matrix when
Mm.
Morpheus offers Neo the red or the blue pill.
Oh, yes.
And this is like a deep metaphor for life. You can live and you guys, you know my heart, it's not judgment.
Yeah.
And those listening from Mary's podcast, you don't know my heart, but you can feel it already. I know you can.
No.
You can live in complacency and false safety, right? Or you can take a chance on yourself and see what happens. And as Mary has so inspiringly laid out, your circumstances change. They change. If Mary didn't heal and end up to where she is, pardon me saying it, she might be dead or still addicted and on the street. Her circumstances would have changed.
Yep.
Either way, it would have changed from what the reality was at that point to a different, right? Worse, sure, or completely better. And what's really beautiful about the significant juxtaposition in your story, Mary, is how much it's changed,
Yeah.
right? And how unrecognizable. I spent some time in my 20s in, some debauchery and very bad choices. And I'm like, wow, like that's how lost I was. That's how,
Yeah.
let's call the blue pill, the sleeping pill in the Matrix example. That's how much I was in the blue pill.
Yeah.
And then when I took the red pill, the other possibility, oh, it was like discovering an entire new universe of things. And now I'm in this place where it's constantly just seeing what else and, not being perfect, but knowing logically to overcome lizard brain that things change. I'm not 20, I'm 43. My age has changed. I'm not single. I've got two kids and a husband. Like, I have a dog. It's all these different things that are, I'm not living at home with mom and dad. I'm living on my own. I'm paying my own bills. These things have changed in life.
Yeah.
And now I can play in what else while living for, again, like one day at a time at the same time, right? And it's absolutely like I kind of asked that question of who you are now to back then. It brings us back and it gives us that lens. And I hope to kind of activate in the listeners a desire, which they will already have because they're in our space, but a desire and an awareness to stay open. I'm going to say open spirited, right? Because the spirit is really where we lead. We're human in the meat suit, but the spirit is the purpose. The spirit, the soul is the deeper consciousness, the love from the heart, the guiding ship that gets to create my, half butt habit sheet, and yet all these other things are still happening. And yeah, I have a habits coaching program. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm getting the results. And
Mhm.
it's beautiful, like we were saying earlier, if you can get results even without perfection, who would have thought?
And that happens. That's exactly what it's all about. Like that, you'll never get results if you don't start somewhere.
Yes.
Everyone has to start somewhere, and that's okay. This is why getting the community and the support is so important because for me, that is what a life coach did for me. Is
Mhm.
she saw what was possible for me before I did. And I always love to share that because this is what we do. We know what's possible for you. We see it and we know where you're headed. We see that vision and we all we want is to make it happen for you, to help support you, keep you accountable, keep you on track, keep you
Yeah.
going, believing in yourselves, getting rid of the crap that we've been believing for so
Mhm.
long that's not serving us so that you can make space for the empowerment that's
Mhm.
meant for you and those beliefs that will serve you and get you exactly what it is that you want in deep down, which is not always about the material things. It's not even
No.
about that. It's about
No.
just living that life of just freedom and
Mhm.
peace and
Yeah.
love and
Yeah.
joy and really
Yeah.
getting that that life of limitlessness. That's what I
Mhm.
love helping moms find, that limitless life, because that is what I know for me, I've been so tired of. I'm tired of feeling limited, that I'm not allowed to go on vacation with my family, that I'm not allowed to do certain
Mm.
things because I don't have the budget or whatnot. I got to a point in my life where I was like, I'm not, I'm done. I'm done living
Mhm.
like this. And I've seen the evidence of how when you make that decision that you want to
Mhm.
change, it is so possible. It is
Mhm.
so possible. And just see what shows up too. That's what's kind of cool about this. It's like, watch what shows up. Watch who reaches out to you. Watch what pops up. Because that is the universe, that's God guiding
Mhm.
you gently
Mhm.
to show you, hey, this person over here might be the person to help you get that result. They might be the person to put you in front of the right people.
Yeah.
So don't be shy. Go out
Yeah.
there and just be bold, be courage, be brave, because that's what it takes. And that's what will build the confidence. Confidence don't just happen. It's
No, it comes through action.
it does. It
Comes
does.
through following through on what you said you would do to
Yes.
yourself. My check sheet is for me. Nobody's marking me on my check sheet.
No,
It's my self accountability.
I love
Am I showing up for the things I say that I want and the woman that I want to be?
it. Yeah.
And what I found is like this morning before getting on with you, I cranked out my 15-minute weight workout
Okay.
while my brain was going, well, you could do it in between. Well, you could do it there. Well, you could. And I was like, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no. I'm going to just do it now to get it done because I don't want it chasing me all
Yes.
day long.
Ooh, I love that.
And I have a goal of doing weights 20 times, and I'm at 3 as of today, and the month is half over. Doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's not pressured, it's accountability. Am I showing up for the things that I say I want? And now I'm like self-auditing to see whether or not I am. And that's been such
Yeah.
a big
Love that.
shift
Yeah.
in keeping track because, like you were saying, Mary, the invisible
Or I say it as invisible or imaginary suffering, right?
suffering, yeah,
Yes.
imaginary suffering, which can also be like imaginary productivity. You're
Mhm.
driving to work and you're thinking about your marketing and you're thinking about your book and you're thinking about your plans and and you get to work and you're like, ah, but you haven't done anything but drive there. And maybe you drove through a stop sign or two because you were so caught up in your excitement for life. Right? And this is like the grounding in and the grunt work that actually creates
Yeah.
who you become. And it's true that community is important because the people that are around you are either going to hold you back or help hold you forward. And then you're going to have both. And you're
Hmm.
always going to have both because there's always going to be people in your life that are going to try and hold you back because of their own stuff.
Hmm.
And you have to still lead yourself forward with that. And Rome wasn't built in a day. It was
Right.
built over time
Yeah.
and created a lasting legacy. And this is what we want to do in our day to day is
Yeah.
just see what's possible for today,
Yeah.
knowing that it's a bigger piece of tomorrow and a year and 5 and 10 and so on from now.
Yes. And when you honor where you are instead of trying to fight it, that's where the
Yes.
magic happens too,
Yes.
because it's like you'll be surprised what you can get done in a small amount of time. Like baby steps is no joke. Like I love, thank God for baby steps, is all I gotta say. Because if I had the pressure of trying to do it all at once, there's no way I would have done it. There's just no way. It would have overwhelmed me. I would have been burnt out, which I've had moments like that, of course, but it's so realistic and nice to like again have some grace, have some compassion, be real. Like, okay, I have this and this and this going on in my life, but where in this can I fit in 5, 10 minutes towards a goal? And sometimes you get sucked in because I don't know about you. I'm like you, Mia. Like I fall so in love with. I love what I do in my
Mhm,
business. It does not feel
mhm,
like work, so I do
mhm,
tend to like be like, well, I'm gonna work on this for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then the
mhm,
next thing I know, I look and it's like an hour's passed, but I've gotten
mhm,
all this accomplished. And
mhm.
you know what? Everyone's okay. The kids are
Yeah.
fine. This is
Yep.
fine. No one's, no one's really noticed that you've gotten more accomplished than you even set out to do.
Mhm,
And it's also okay, like you say, sometimes we have to be okay that you know what? I didn't follow through with that. Okay, I love that you audit, by the way, because I think that's so important to have that accountability because it's not about judging yourself. It's not about beating yourself up. It's just about recognizing and building that awareness and then also seeing, okay, now that I didn't do this, let's look at that. Like, where can I now fit this in going forward? And then celebrate it too. Celebrate the little wins. You know, you doing that earlier, celebrate that because you did it. You didn't listen to the voices that try to talk you out of it that so many of us do, you know? So good for you for following through and being like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Just almost that rebelliousness against that voice, right? It's like
Mhm.
when it tells you not to do it, it's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it actually.
Watch me.
Watch me.
You
I
don't tell me
got
what
this.
to do.
Oh, I love it.
But this is, it's, am I showing up for what I say I want? And
Yeah.
I offered a beautiful portfolio of fruition from my, half attempts here. And it's not to downplay, it's just to make it very, very real,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm showing up messy, whatever, but it's real and it's bringing forth, as I mentioned at the beginning, a ton of unbelievable things. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting an all expenses paid luxury trip to South Africa for
Wow.
7 days to be the coach in a program.
That's
The
amazing.
the coaching is only about an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, which
Right.
means I'm a participant for the rest of that time.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm sleeping in the staff lodging, but like, psh, I think I can handle it.
Yeah.
And it ticks so many other boxes. And that is from imperfect progress.
Mm.
And this is an example. I'm such a busy bee. I teach
Yeah.
bike skill courses in my community.
Okay.
Yeah, bike riding, it's another passion of mine because I didn't have enough. It's the teacher in me,
Yeah.
right? It's the teacher in me comes out.
Mhm.
And so I usually introduce myself at the beginning of the class, like, yes, I'm your teacher, but I once rode a one-speed pink cruiser on the sidewalk, right? Like that was my origin story. I got back into bike riding as a young adult, and the bike was so beautiful. It was for sale in someone's garage, and I thought about it for a few days, went back and bought it, and started riding again. And then look at what that led to. That led to becoming one of the best cycling instructors because I'm so entertaining out here in my community, and
Yes.
the impact and the instant change that all those cyclists were looking for, they got in that one course, right? And it's so much fun for me. But the product that you see of Mary and I today is not sensational. It's not glamorous. We're real everyday women, you guys. And this is the big dream that we want for you is to live in that too, where and this is probably no, it's not probably. It's definitely still my revelation and part of my message that to have your dream life
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like you don't have to be Madonna or Oprah or pick a non-North American famous person, which is always hard to think of. But I'm like, I want a different one. I'm so tired of North American examples, even though it's where we live. That you can have the beauty, the flexibility that Mary experiences. Like my workplace, I've worked in places that were toxic and would shun against lateness or children. I'm a
Yes.
mom, like, what am I gonna do? I even got told that my industry wasn't really like a good place for a pregnant lady at one point when I was about 6, 7 months pregnant. And I'm like,
Wow.
that's unnecessary, but thank you. And so I changed that circumstance,
Yeah.
right? Like it was still, I didn't have to, overnight success, famous coach. I just got a different job. And I'm in an awesome workplace now. It's mostly led by women, which makes a bit of a difference.
Love that.
And I'm
Love
biased,
that
but
though. Yeah. But that's what it's all about, like you say, just changing their circumstances and knowing that
yes,
we have the power to do that. Like,
yes,
and
that's
it's
it.
all about just
Yes,
taking chances. Like
yes,
yeah, you have to take risk and get out of your comfort zone. But like you say, one little decision of like bike riding, you never know what it leads to and all the people that you're impacting now. And like, that's why we're here doing what we do.
yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I made that decision and that I get to see this unfold more and more. And I can't wait to see. It's like, I feel like we're going to be back here having another
Yeah.
conversation like this
Yeah.
down the road when we're even further on our journey.
Yeah.
And it's going to be such a different conversation because we're going to have grown and evolved so much because here we are doing it imperfectly, but we're
Yeah.
doing it and we're having a
Yeah.
good time. We're having fun with it. And our goal is to just inspire other people to get started
That's right.
too. And if you
That's
want
right.
that support, we're this much further on our journey. Let us help you get there quicker too, in our own
That's
way.
right.
Like I've self-taught myself, like all the tech stuff. And that's one thing I see so many people get frustrated over, for instance, that I love to support them with in my coaching because that's
Mm-hmm.
why I create these programs because I want to
Mm-hmm.
educate them. I want to help them. I'll show you like what I do and how simplified it is. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
to make things simple for people because I don't want anything to stop you from just
Yeah.
taking action.
Yeah.
So I hope that anyone listening next week is when I release this, it will be the next week that we're going to be doing the summit. Mia, will you tell us a little bit more about, first of all, I'd love to hear a little bit about your vision with your summit and how you
Mm-hmm.
got started with that. And then tell us a little bit more specifically about this upcoming one. I'm so excited to be part of.
The Everyday Woman Summit is a 6 episode series happening over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
And so, what are we sitting at the end of 2025? So, at the
Mm.
end of 2024, late summer 2024, it was like host a summit.
Yeah.
And part and parcel is putting yourself in a position of leadership, not waiting for something to come to you, standing up and going after it.
Mm.
Side note, guys, women self nominate for awards and then petition their network to vote for them, and then they get to win the award, right? So, this is where you're taking full responsibility and not hoping and waiting for something to come to you. You're going after it. So, Summit, put yourself in a position of leadership, host this. Yeah, yeah, okay. And I sat and sat and sat on it for 6 months. And then 2025 turned. And I think the first one, I sent out an email and said, let's do this in 2 weeks. It's mental. Now, I'm a generator. I'm like 6 Energizer bunnies. It's awesome and annoying at times. It's just like go like crazy. But it held me accountable. I wanted to launch at Valentine's, and now it's always mid-month. The timing always comes around the mid-teen dates. And I sent out an email. It was like beautiful from the heart,
Mm.
somewhat sensical message
Love it.
to previous guests on my podcast, where I now joke that my podcast is like it's like a dating app where I get to know women to collaborate with.
Love
And
it.
when we have really good chemistry, then they're stuck with me. So now I warn people, you'll be stuck with me if we love each other. So I did that, and it was a huge success because the vision wasn't mine. I was just the portal for it to come out. And I had the right energy and the organizational skills and the back end ability
Mhm.
to run it. And people love me and my energy. And I was interviewing, so everyone was happy to participate and hang out, right? And then be part of something bigger. And then they all got to know each other. And it became
Wow.
one level bigger, like exponential to the one. And then it just grew from there. It was like a spiritual revelation of ongoing. And I'm pretty sure it was when you and I met that the next three were planted. And so now this is, like I said, a 6 episode series. It's going to be a foundation freebie funnel entry to my coaching practice. It's going to be something that I can run on evergreen, which means pre-recorded and repeat. So I can run it every 2 months in a calendar year, or I can run it every 3 months, 4 months over time. And it just feels, it's interesting because it feels kind of very clear, but also a little bit through the fog. And so I'm just
See that.
following that.
Mm-hmm.
And what it's intended for is just to normalize what Mary and I have talked about this whole episode, is to normalize the day to day of creating a life that you love, that
Yes.
you're activated in purpose,
Yeah.
that you don't sit down at the end of the day and go, who am I? What am I doing with my life? Is this all there is?
Mhm.
And what can I do in my day-to-day life between going to work and shuffling kids and folding laundry and maybe having a bath once a month and chilling
Yes.
out like for an extra 5 minutes without kids coming at the door or other demands because I don't want to, I'm not mama specific, but I'm a mom, so it's more related. But in general, like where are we
Yeah.
creating a legacy that's going to outlive us?
Yeah.
And something I wanted to say earlier is also leaders come in different sizes. Leaders come in different sizes. And so pick your size and lead from where you are, prosper where you're planted, right? And that's the underlying message under all of these summits and
Yeah.
all of these beautiful women who can share more than I can on my own and who can embody and be examples of that vision and who can, like my podcast intro, normalize the experience because the internet's hijacking us, the internet's overstimulating us, and now AI is manipulating us. And there's all of this constant chase and scarcity. And I'm not going to stand for that because I've lived in that and it's cost me so much, like financially, physically, emotionally. It's
Yeah.
been a journey chasing myself outside of something only to end up living I should have worn the t-shirt, best day ever, every day. If you guys come,
I
I have
love
this t-shirt. There's three of them in the house, so it's not
it.
always the same one. But it's like it's the brand and the motto for life. And
Oh my God.
and I hope through the conversation you see that Mary and I are just very ordinary,
Yeah.
extraordinary women
Yeah.
who are making conscious, intentional choices about our day to day.
Yeah. Exactly. I love it. Oh, Mia, you are amazing. And I'm so excited because this journey that we both are on, like it's amazing to watch how we are evolving and those that we get to actually help too. Like that's
Yeah,
something I'm so passionate about. Like your success is my success. I
yeah,
love to see my clients succeed. I love to see them reach their goals. I love to see them get their results. It's what this is all about is us rising and thriving together. And you have created something so beautiful. And I'm so excited to see how this keeps unfolding for you. I'm
yeah.
excited for what's coming up. And if you haven't yet, please join us and come and follow this journey because there's more to come, even outside of this one. But still, come join us next week. There's incredible conversations just like this and more. Just such inspiration, again, to help you realize you're not alone. Not alone in this journey. We get it. We feel ya, but we're also, we are taking action. And that's the
That's
difference between
yes,
those who
that's right.
actually succeed and follow
That's
through
right.
and get the results than those who don't and just keep living that same old hamster wheel life. And I don't know about you, I don't want that for you. I don't want that for
No,
me. So come
no.
on, let's do this, mamas. Let's do this, women. Let's come together and make things
Yeah.
happen. So Mia, outside, I know we'll have the links for you on my show notes, and I'd love for you to also just share with the audience for my podcast, like where's the best place for them to find you, just to come hang out, connect with
Yeah,
you.
I love Facebook the most. Yeah, I'm just hooked. I'm old school, y'all. I'm 43.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stuck in my ways to the technology. It just feels the most community to me, even though it's noisy and distracting and got all those things. It,
Yeah.
it works for me. It's portable, etc. So everything, all my socials are Powerful Inc. POWHERFULLINC at Facebook, Powerful Everything. It's all at that. The summit is under a Facebook group. It's the easiest way in. I simplified the access from the landing page because I didn't want to load up another bunch of emails. Sorry, it just didn't.
I
I
understand.
wanted to make it easier. It
Yes.
says Facebook groups / Everyday Woman Summit. And we're not just blowing smoke here. The sixth episode of the Summit series, tongue twister, is going to feature you guys, everybody that's come in. You are going to take us, oh my God, it gets so
Love it.
beautiful for me. you guys are going to take us out at the end. You're going to be the speakers. You're going to be doing the interviews. You're going to be leading yourselves into the future and taking over, like my little ducklings fledging from the nest and off into yonder to bloom and to do all the things that Mary was talking about. So this is the vortex of coming into our spaces and being around women like us. And we're women like you. We're just like you're lifting 2 pound weights and we're lifting like 15 pound weights. Like we're not, that's it.
Exactly. I love it. And it can be said any better. And I also always open the floor. Is there any final piece of advice that you'd like to share with listeners today? Although I
Mm.
feel like you just said it so much in that.
It's so
I
prophetic.
know, right? I
I'm
love
like,
it.
oh, I'm in a flow zone today.
I know, girl. I know we could totally easily make this like a Joe Rogan 3 hour long podcast.
No, I
But we
hate
won't do
those. I
that.
can't
I
stand. I
know.
don't have time for that.
It takes me
Listening to
forever.
it for a
I
month.
know. Well, that's me too. I was gonna say it takes me a little while to get through those, but that's okay. I still enjoy it. It's like you pop in and hear a
Yeah,
little bit of a
yeah,
combo. That's what I'm saying. Even with these being like an hour long, sometimes it's like it's
yeah.
all good. You don't have to listen to it all in one go, but
That's
you just
right.
hear a little bit, and it's like you never know what you're gonna hear in that moment. I believe in divine timing, and that
Yeah,
like okay, you might just hear this part of this conversation that you just needed to hear this today.
that's
So
it.
don't ever be afraid, even if you see like an hour long episode. Just check it out when you can check it out. It takes me a while too to get through some of those. It's all good because I feel like I hear exactly what I need when I need to.
Mhm. That's it. That's it. Yeah. I mean, just live your best day ever, one day at a time.
Yeah,
That's all you get anyway.
right?
It's gonna, they're pieces of a puzzle coming together for the masterpiece, but
Yeah,
you can't rush it.
exactly. You got to trust everything is working for you and is going to unfold exactly as it's meant to. So stop fighting it. Stop trying to control
Yeah.
it. Just let it be and just be mindful. Build your awareness around things and try to see the good and make the best of it and understand that even the hard times, they're there to prepare you for something. And all the failed launches, crickets, whatever it is, or the person that you wanted to be with didn't work, just whatever it is, like just understand that it's all preparing you. I think back even of my old relationships and I'm like, thank God that didn't work out, even though I used to pray
Mhm.
to God, like, please let it work out. I'm like, no, I'm glad he knew better than
Mhm.
I did. And I
Mhm.
just,
Mhm.
I get to be where I am today. So, Mia, I want to thank you so much for this. I'm so honored to be part of your world now and that you get to be part of mine.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to forever be grateful now to ColdDMs. I'm never going to look at it the same.
Right?
Thanks to you, especially. But I just love this and I'm grateful that I get to be a part of this incredible summit and future stuff because I definitely see us collaborating on
Oh
so
yeah.
much more in the future. So
Yeah.
again, thank you for being part of my show and I'm honored to be part of yours. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe below, follow along, and always leave a comment. Tell me what was your favorite takeaway. What are some things that are coming up for you through these conversations? I really love to hear from my listeners and know that I'm always here for you. If anyone listening is ready to take action and really follow through and implement the goals that you set out for, as well as work on that mindset and really step into your full potential and the CEO of your life, then I invite you, schedule your free 1 hour limitless mom strategy call with me while they're available. And let's explore where you are, where you want to be, and how we can bridge that gap together. I can't thank you all enough for tuning in each week. Always remember, until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and keep believing in everything that is available for you, Mama. You are worthy, you deserve it, and I'm so grateful to be walking this journey alongside you. Much love.